In the radio studios of America, the technicians, the entertainers, the commentators, the administrative personnel daily unite their efforts in the creation of programs to please and entertain the vast radio public.
Hey, watch the microphone!
New vistas, new excitement, new thrills.
Dear, don't you think it needs a little more salt?
Don't you get it? I get it.
One of America's leading public service stations.
A well-known authority.
That's the way, stupid.
Quiet, please. In exactly 15 seconds, we'll be on the air.
Perhaps one of the most important messages ever issued is the one you're about to hear.
And so, we're on the air.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to John D. Podcast. I'm your host, John D. Miller. Welcome to episode number 66, everybody. Number 66, número 66 in the old Espanol language. That's right. 1,202, going on 1,203 days now as I begin to record this of no booze. No booze, yeah, no booze. I know, I made it past 1,200 days. No alcohol. No alcohol. So, a little happy about that. A little proud about that. Don't mind saying it. If you're counting your numbers out there, keep it up. It only gets better and it only gets easier. It's never going to be that easy, but it does get better. Okay? You don't need the booze. You don't need it. I know. They try to make you think you do. Holiday season, summertime, football, right? Any of those times, they will tell you, no, you got to have booze. Have booze. You don't need it. All right. Enough said about that. Anyway, so let's start off the episode now from Star Wars. You know, it reminds me, one time I was at a Five Guys and there was a couple dudes from GameStop who were very excited because one of them, their order was Order 66. So I thought it was just funny that it was two dudes from GameStop who were so, you know what I mean? Right. Video games, nerds, that type fun stuff. So the Acolyte made its debut on Disney Plus. I have not seen either of the first two episodes, which will be airing this week as a premiere. I have not seen either one of them. I have talked to people who have seen them, and they said it was pretty good. No spoilers here is what my point is. I can't give it away other than to tell you. It's got Lee Jung-jae, who's from Squid Games. I don't know if you ever watched this. I watched a little bit. I've seen a couple of episodes, some clips here and there, but I am familiar with him. It's also got, Manny Jacinto, who's in The Good Place. I don't know if you guys know that show. Manny Jacinto. It's got Daphne Keane. I don't know if anybody's going to remember this. Some of you will. Some of you will recognize that name. Daphne Keane, who's from X-Men X-23 series. I think she was on back in like 17 or 18, something like that. But that's what it is, and I'm very excited about it. I got to tell you. I have watched a lot of different things about it, and not, like I said, no spoilers, but if you know anything about it, it's basically everything's hunky-dory, and then some evil starts popping up. And we know who those people are, huh? Yes, that's right. Make sure you check it. Disney Plus, a tip of something to watch. So, I like to give those to you. I definitely have faith in Disney that they can pull off something that's going to be worthwhile and worth watching. I mean, we could all end up being huge fans, right? Or we could all just end up being like, yeah, great, thanks. We appreciate that. When is Ahsoka season 2 coming? Andor? Anybody? Andor? Keeping with the movie theme here, I heard about this recently, and I got to tell you, it blew my freaking mind. Okay, so I've always been a huge fan of Back to the Future. Who hasn't been, right? Don't you? You gotta like Back to the Future. Even if you only watched it a couple times, you're like, cute movie, whatever. Also, I mean, it's no Star Wars, but no, but Back to the Future, always liked that movie. Always liked all of them. I've always been a Michael J. Fox fan ever since he was on, Family Ties and all that shit back in the, he played a young Republican. Kind of reminded me of my brother back when I was a kid. And then I've always been a fan of the movie The Goonies. It's classic. This blew my mind. There's a little Easter egg in the movie Goonies that proves it, if nothing else. So, as you know, in Back to the Future, Marty gets summoned to the Twin Pines Mall, which by the end of the movie is the One Pine Mall. Which I think it's funny. You come in with a single pine? I don't know. I guess that was a bet. About all you could do. Doc brings him in, and it's October 26, 1985. Marty McFly goes back in time to 1955 when and meets Doc, all that fun shit. You know what happens. His mom tries to bang him. You know what I'm talking about? That was so weird. Looking back on it. Kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies nowadays. Anyways, so Back to the Future, the Goonies, take place on the exact same day. At the same time. So one of the biggest clues that I saw, so, as we know, it's simple. It's really easy for the Back to the Future part of this equation. October 26, 1985. Marty goes back to 1955. We know it. That part is done. What's never clear-cut said is when the Goonies takes place. The biggest clue that I believe is in it is when there's at one point the Fratellis, right? It's talking about them. There's a newspaper article on the front headlines of the paper. It's a local paper, and it has Fratelli escape, about them escaping from the prison. And it's dated October 24th, 1985. And this is like a day later. So that would have been the 25th, right? Now, this is before the kids went down the fireplace. And then, no spoilers on the Goonies, right? Anyways. Yeah. If you don't want spoilers on Goonies, then I don't care. You just don't have a life if you've never seen that movie. Come on. Never once? So the kids, they ended up going down to the fireplace and then going chasing One-Eyed Willie, trying to get the treasure. Copperpot, that dude. I don't even know how long they were down there, but they were down there for overnight, like a day. They were down in there. So same time. Yeah. Really? Obviously they came out, a month apart? Something like that. Spielberg was a busy dude. He was working, man. And he was making Indiana Jones movies, and he was, God, that dude was, I don't think I had the wherewithal to do that. That had to be a lot of organization. This was way before the computers that they have now. Right? I mean, that's my opinion. Like, just the organization. Like, that guy, the old organizers you had to write everything in? Spielberg's in the 80s must have been massive. Must have been huge. He had like 5 of them. And he had one person assigned to each one. I bet you money. That's how they used to do. That's how they used to do that. I don't know if it's I know it was like corporations. I remember. Was it Lee Iacocca? I could be wrong. It was one of those type people in the back in those days. Business people. Now you have Google Calendar. You just put in okay. Let's see. Google Calendar. What is this? All right. So Monday the 10th, award-winning blockbuster movie. Okay. Do that. Okay. And then I do that until when? 12th of the next month. Finish and drop another blockbuster summertime hit movie. And then what's that? What's that? Oh, and then go do another movie where it films all over the world. Jesus. All right. I love Spielberg. I think he is one of the best. Goonies and Back to the Future. Holy crap. What else you going to throw at me, life? What else? What else you got out there? WWW. The World Wide Web. All right, let's take a break. Make sure you follow me on social media. John D Comedy, John D Podcast on Twitter. Yeah, suck it, Elon. John D Podcast on Facebook. JonDpodcom on Instagram and Threads. Okay? And you can email the show, JonDpodcom@gmail.com. If you take the title of the show, tell me what minute mark it's at, and put that in an email, I'll send you something. Now, it depends on how many people answer, depending to what I give out. And also, if you've known me for more than 10 years, don't do it. Don't do the thing. I know. Some people are like, what? Why? I don't know. I feel like that's too easy. I feel like it's got to be somebody who doesn't really know me. Like, I want people who I don't know. Like Matt, who wrote me an email. Got me back into the hockey talk, which is what we're going to be discussing in the second part of the show. And I don't know what else I'm going to do. I have a couple of different ideas. I'm not sure which one I'm going to end up discussing. But if you want to find out which one that's going to be, you'll have to stick around. More John D Podcast right after this. When I quit booze for good, one thing I learned was to always keep your palate entertained. And one of my new favorite ways to make it happen is BlendJet 2. BlendJet 2 is portable, so you can blend up a smoothie at work, a protein shake at the gym, or even an NA margarita on the beach. It's small enough to fit in a cup holder, but powerful enough to blast through tough ingredients like ice and frozen fruit with ease. BlendJet 2 is whisper quiet, so you can make your morning smoothie without waking up the whole house. Lasts for 15 plus blends and recharges quickly via USB-C. Best of all, BlendJet 2 cleans itself. Just blend water with a drop of soap and you're good to go. With over 30 plus colors and patterns to choose from, there's a BlendJet 2 to complement just about any style. What are you waiting for? Go to blendjet.com and grab yours today. And be sure to use the promo code JonDpod12 to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. No other portable blender on the market comes close to the quality, power, and innovation of the BlendJet 2. They guarantee you'll love it or your money back. Blend anytime, anywhere with BlendJet 2 Portable Blender. Go to blendjet.com and use the code JonDpod12 to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. Shop today and get the best deal ever. BlendJet 2. And welcome back to part 2 of episode 66 of John D Podcast. I'm your host, John D. Miller. Yeah, how was your break, everybody? Huh? How was it? What'd you do? Did you enjoy the BlendJet commercial? Thanks to them, BlendJet 2, being a sponsor all this time. JonDpod12 at checkout for 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. Okay? Okay. Very important to put that part in there. As I've said in the past, people have not done that. and it was a little bit, they got their BlendJet. I guess I don't know what they paid for it, but I didn't get any moolah out of it. So, which I do get if you do buy stuff. And then we have new sponsors coming, don't we? Hey, do we have new sponsors? Do we have? You don't know? You don't know? Have you been talking to any sponsors? You don't know. No, you're shaking. You're not even shaking your head. It's going around in a circle. What is that? I don't know what I pay you for. All right. Anyways, by the way, thanks to everybody. I didn't even say this to start the first part of the episode. Thanks to everybody who listened to episode 65. Yeah, very cool. I don't know if you liked, subscribed, downloaded, and told your friends. If you did all those things, you should. If you haven't, good solid numbers, man. I just want to say thanks. The biggest part about that was I had in different places, a bunch of places in the UK. I don't know if it's because one of the future guests on the program was on tour a little bit and visiting in the UK. Comedy friend of mine. You're going to get to know him eventually. Hopefully the next one. And people go, don't you have any friends, John? You can't find somebody to be in your podcast. No. So I have friends. And I don't know. The wife doesn't want to be on. Liz, my lovely wife, Liz. She had, people loved her. People loved her. Maybe if I get a couple of emails that I can show her of people saying, hey, get back on there. Maybe she'll do it. I don't know. I don't know if she got self-conscious or just decided she hates podcasts. I could see either one. But she even got it. She even got her own microphone. But it's just me. And occasionally somebody comes on and says other things that are off the wall and batty too. So, but thanks to everybody who listened to 65. That was really cool. Very, very cool. But as you remember in 65, in case you don't, but I got a email from a listener named Matt, and he was asking me about the Panthers, the Florida Panthers, who are now in the Stanley Cup Final. Well, they will take on the Edmonton Oilers, who another team that, I was watching them all season, but I did not peg them to go that far. I had Vancouver going for the West. My Western Conference Final was not. I didn't have anybody right. I had Vancouver and Colorado, with Vancouver coming out on top. But no, it was the Stars and the Oilers, and nobody gave the Oilers a chance because talking about the strength of the Stars, I thought their defense was slow and young and inexperienced in many ways. They didn't seem like they could match a lot of the speed that the Oilers were bringing. But a lot of people gave the series to the Stars before it ever even started. And Mr. McDavid there went out there and put a show on, as well did Draisaitl. And that defenseman Bouchard played a really good series. And I got to give it up for the Stars. I mean, they did beat the last two Stanley Cup champions, the Avalanche, who are not what they were 2 years ago. And they took out the Golden Knights, who are very similar to what they were a year ago. But, hey, circumstances play out the way that they do sometimes. You know, you got to have a little bit of puck luck. Some things have to go in your favor to win. I don't care how much you can put it to talent or whatever, you know. Some things just gotta bounce your way if you're going to win a cup. And maybe handling some of the situations that might occur and the talent it takes to do that. Okay, I can see where that's a bit of talent, but at the same time, I don't see that as being, you know, you have to have some luck. It's just my conclusion I've come up with over the years. That's so unlucky that my team, you know, had whatever it was happen to them. Which, by the way, I'm tired of people, and I've dropped it too. But people are always like, "Oh, my team is cursed." That's one, you know, my team is cursed. You know, they never win. Well, your odds are pretty low every year. So, anyways, okay. So Edmonton coming out of the West, beating the Stars. Very good team. Skinner, doing a great job. Doing a great job. Yeah. And then, but Rangers fans, very, very disappointed. And I feel bad for you, sort of. Not really, but I mean a little bit. No, I don't. But I've been there, done that. How about that? How about I have a little bit of empathy? As in, man, that's, I mean, I do have people who are friends, you know, like 3 Bryans I know, a Mark, my buddy Dustin, who's been on the podcast. He, what's up, dude? He's a Rangers fan. Sorry, man. You know, one of the biggest problems with them was that their big guns didn't show up. I mean, you had Panarin and Zibanejad. What happened to those dudes? I mean, Panarin showed up at what? With 1:40 left to go in Game 6. It's like, all right, I'm going to do something now. I was just going to make it dramatic. Just make dramatic, right? That's what they like. It's Broadway. Hey, New York. I know we're in Florida for this part, but whatever. But, you know, that was luck. A lot of posts. Even in Game 6, Zibanejad could have had a goal, went off the back end boards, came back out in the crease. He's there. He almost got it, but it kind of flipped around on him. That's why you gotta love hockey. You know, that puck gets wobbling, or whether it's end over end, or when you get nice and flat and you can get a nice shot off. And but the Rangers didn't do it. Now they do have a whale of a young goalie in Shesterkin. They better take care of that dude. And even if that means they got to let some people go to do it, they need to make sure that guy sticks around for a little bit. You know, Rangers got themselves another great goaltender. You know, I don't know. It's like when the Green Bay Packers keep finding great quarterbacks, right? Rangers just keep finding goalies, man. They actually had 2. They had Georgiev and Shesterkin, and which sounds like a Eastern European comedy duo from the 40s, but they need to take care of that young goalie. He's phenomenal, but he does get shaken. He gets shaken a little bit. Once he gets shaken, I should say. It gets a little panicky, but he's young, and he'll grow out of that, just as a Richter did. So yeah, there you go. Mike Richter, kind of the same way, solid, but it got a little panicky but he grew out of it. I don't think Lundqvist was ever that way. That guy just came in playing well. He just never had the teams in front of him to win a cup. You know, and that was the thing. Being a Caps fan, was so looking forward to him being in a Caps uniform for 1 year. Even if he played in 15 games, just to see him playing in a Caps uniform would have been pretty cool. And you know, he would have played against the Rangers at least one time. He had to, if not twice. I don't know. We'll see. Especially if it was in New York. Come on. He'd have gotten a fucking tribute up the wazoo. That would have been pretty cool. So, all right. So, Cup Finals. What do I think? of the Cup Final? Well, you have Edmonton and the Florida Panthers, who just brought it in the. That's the other thing. So I talked about how the Rangers, their big guns didn't show up, but at the same time, the Panthers weren't slacking. And give it up for Bobrovsky. That guy he's so grown into what he is now, which I think is a solid NHL goaltender. He's 35 years old. It took him a while. I remember when he first came into the league with Philadelphia. I don't know. I wasn't that impressed with him, but I kept reading all the reports. Oh, so much potential. Anyways, so I feel like, there, and then Columbus, it's like, come on, dude. And then last couple of years, I mean, maybe it's the team in front of him. It's definitely at least part of that. But I really feel like he has come into his own. This is my thing. I've been talking about it with the finals, with the Stanley Cup in general. If my team can't win it, I want to see it go back to Canada. And I don't think I'm wrong in that. I know everybody in Florida, including you, Matt, who wrote the email last time, but I gotta. Here's the thing. Talk about curses and stuff. I know that if I pick Edmonton, they'll lose, right? If I pick the Oilers, they'll lose. So I have to pick the Panthers? No, because I don't want them. But here's my other thing. I don't want Evander Kane to win a Stanley Cup. And he plays for the Oilers. So I don't like him. So it's like, what do I do? I don't know. I think I'd be fine with either team winning it. Obviously, the Cup goes home to Canada. For how many? I don't know how long it's been. 90s. Too long. I'm going to take Edmonton in 7. That's what I'm going to take. That's my prediction. The Cup goes home to Canada. The people in Canada are mostly happy because Lord Stanley's Cup is back in country. And it's Edmonton who won it. But other than that, it's great. I mean, they are an esteemed, historic franchise in the National Hockey League. They won 4 in a row, 5 overall. How many do they have overall? I think that's about it. Yeah, I'm going to take Edmonton in 7. But if for some reason Florida pulls it off, that's okay. I'll live with it. I'm not, won't be as cool. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. Those start on Saturday, the 8th. It's going to all be on ABC. That's one of the weirdest things that I can't get used to. Is having hockey of any kind, as in regular season, playoffs, whatever. I remember when I first started liking hockey, I've seen a little bit here and there, movies or, kind of whatever. I thought it was kind of cool, but they had the All-Star game on. I want to say it was on regular TV, but now that the more that I've thought about it, maybe it was on ESPN. It was the All-Star game, and I thought, man, that's pretty cool. Now, it's the All-Star game, so they weren't playing it like a normal game, which is obviously a lot more hitting. Nobody hits each other in the All-Star game. It's one reason why the Pro Bowl sucks, right? You're not playing for anything. Yeah, let's watch a bunch of people. Hockey's a little more fun, I think, the All-Star game. I think All-Star games in general are kind of stupid. Yeah, it's great. Hey, you come out, you freaking, you skate around for a little bit, you do some dangles, maybe you throw some balls, but you don't really do it. They did have some people. Didn't people get hurt during the Pro Bowl, though? I think that's what happened. And, but also then they moved it to before the Super Bowl. It used to be after the Super Bowl. Then they moved it to the week in between. Because there was that 2 weeks, and for some reason, the fucking NFL can't be like, Jesus Christ, look, from this day to this day, we make as much money as we can on football from possible, okay? Okay? Whatever we do. Make as much money on football as possible right here in this day. And do it. Just keep going. Well, the Pro Bowl's at the end, and people go to Hawaii. Fuck that shit. Put it in Florida. Where was it this past year? I don't even know, because I didn't watch it. Why don't you go ahead and just put it in between the Super Bowl and the last week of the playoffs, huh? Come on. But then nobody from the Super Bowl teams will be there. Yeah, let's run with it for a little bit. Yeah, everybody's saying this sucks. Fuck. All right. You know what? Let's just scrap this game thing. Let's just say, let's do like an all-star game, but make it like American Gladiators. Can we do that? Is that going to work? Huh? Ugh. The NHL, they do the 3-on-3 now with the divisions playing each other and each one's a period. It's weird. It's 3 20-minute. It's like it's 3 20-minute games rather than, yeah. I'm like, I don't. So basically, like one division's team goes out in the first period, first game, right? And then those all-stars are done. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming and hanging out. These people wanted to see Ovi play for, a whole game. Nope, one period. 3-on-3, by the way. 3-on-3. I don't know. 3-on-3, but I'm just saying, if you put some sort of an incentive into it, right? Like, well, what's the matter with the teams? Well, then do away with the President's Trophy. They should. They freaking should. See? There you go. I'm literally making sports whatever as we're talking. I'm probably going to have to cut most of this out because I'm literally just rambling on. I'm sitting here. It's at nighttime. It's late. I'm sitting here waiting for executive producer Tom Hancock. That's his voicemail when you call him. I'm waiting for him to give me a shout, but who knows? So I'm recording. All right. Am I going to do anything else? Do I have to do anything else for this show? I don't. That's fine. I don't know. Do I have anything else to talk about? I do. I said I had one more idea, but I feel like now, I don't know. I feel like I covered everything. I think actually I was going to do like the your team is cursed thing, but I already talked about that. It is. People always, the curse of the Bambino. All right, now we're just going into it. Is that what we're doing? I'm literally leading myself around, not knowing what I'm doing. How does that? I need some guests on, motherfuckers. That's what I'm saying. No, it's just funny. It just struck me as, because what did I see? Oh, I remember what it was. One of my son's friends' dads. Right? Cool guy. What did he put? Sorry for your team's bad luck. Fuck, what was it? Oh no, sorry for you have to root for a losing team. And I said, no, I just feel bad for them that they have my luck because I root for them. Something like that. And it's like, people always go, oh, my team is cursed. Well, your odds are pretty freaking low, like I was saying. Right? And then the leagues are just getting bigger. The NHL is talking about getting, they got Utah. And then for some reason, they're going to try to put a team back in Arizona. And then they're like, well, then we'll be uneven. So we'll have to put another one in the East. And then, well, now the divisions are uneven. And then we'll have to, It's stupid. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. But I think I did everything. I think I did enough for this episode. Time to move on. Okay, people? Watch the Stanley Cup. God dang it. Good summertime watching. Watch the Goonies. Check all the stuff like that. I know they didn't explain that much, but I don't have pictures. But yeah, the scene, and you see the newspaper, and it says October 24th, 1985, for Telly's escape from prison. Check that out. And then, of course, watch both movies. They're good summertime movies. I got to watch National Lampoon's Vacation. I watch that at the beginning of every summer. So yeah, my kid's done with school. So I feel like it's summertime now. I'm working the job, working from home, doing some podcast stuff, behind the scenes stuff. It's fun. So doing that. And then of course, check out the Acolyte 2 episode premiere over on Disney Plus. You can check it out. So it's been a nerdy, hockey heavy Stanley Cup preview kind of an episode. And I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but that's what it is. That's what it's worked out to be. Some people say that things like this are, no, I was going to say, is this a filler episode? Is that what they always do? Like Mandalorian stuff? Like I was watching the other night and had that one with the passenger, which he had to take that frog lady in season 2. I don't know. Maybe. No, you know what? If everything goes according to plan, next one's going to be a doozy. So that's all right. I think this was good though. Watch the Stanley Cup Final. Enjoy the Stanley Cup Final. I think it's going to be a whale of a time. But what do I know? It could end up in, somebody wins in 4. Yay. All this extra break. Yeah. Okay. I'm done with hockey now. Okay. I'll put it away. I gotta go. No, I need to leave. As always, please like, subscribe, download, tell your friends. And as always, don't forget your charities. No Kid Hungry. All right. Many school-age children are in situations where the best meal of the day for them comes from school. No Kid Hungry helps children with meals when the children are away from school, such as weekends and holidays. All right. No Kid Hungry. Wounded Warrior Project. The brave men and women who have served our country deserve the best care we can give them after they return home. Some of them have wounds that are external and or internal that they might need help with, or even just accessible housing. Okay. Wounded Warrior Project. BestFriends.org is making a difference by helping homeless dogs and cats in shelters be adopted faster and in more numbers. Their goal is to have the entire country no-kill shelters by the year 2025, all right? BestFriends.org. Check out these charities or any others in your local area and support them. They don't have to be the exact same, along the same lines. Just, give a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. Now, after all that charity, if you got time for a little charity, you can always support the podcast here through our official listener support app, Venmo, at JonDpodcom. Don't forget Twitter, John D Podcast, John D Comedy. Write to me, JonDpodcom at gmail.com, and Facebook, John D Podcast. Executive producers for John D Podcast are Tom Handcuff and Liz Miller. Thanks to each of them for helping to make this happen in their own ways. This episode was recorded and produced by yours truly, John D. Miller, in the Amber Tree Media Studio. Don't forget blendjet.com. JonDpod12 is your code for 12% off and free shipping. I think that's everything. That might have been one of the cleanest reads of the closing stuff I've ever done. All right. I got a lot of work I'm doing, including getting ready for this new episode. All right. Enjoy the Stanley Cup. Watch the Goonies. Watch Back to the Future. All right. I keep saying I'm out of here, and I'm doing the opposite of the Irish goodbye. Isn't that what I'm doing? Yeah. What can I say? I'm a talker. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And until next time, later for you.